So, grade 8 math, lesson 5.1. We're going to convert this fraction, this percent, into a fraction and then into a decimal. Okay? So you got 32 and 3/5%. Now what we need to do is get this denominator, that's 5, we need to make that into a 10. Why? Because that's in the tenths place. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to use multiplication to change that denominator. And remember, whatever we do to the bottom of a fraction, we also have to do the top. So, 5 times 2, 3 times 2. Let's just bring that down. This is what it's going to look like now. 32 and 6/10. Okay? Percent. It's the same thing. These are both equal. We've just changed it a little bit, made it a little easier to work with. Because now what we can do is we can drop it down and change that into 32.6%. Okay? So as long as we've got that denominator as 10, then we can convert that into a decimal place there, and that's what we wanted to do. Okay? So these are all the same things, we're just changing its form, working with it a bit. Okay, so now that we've got it to this point, what we're going to do is we're going to change it into a fraction. So, we know that a percent is always out of 100, but because we've got 3 numbers here, we're going to put it over 1,000. So watch this. 32. Get that 6 in there, but you got no decimal place now. Over 1,000. Okay? So now we've got a fraction. We've changed this percent, worked it through, changed its form to make this fraction. It's still the same thing. They're still equal. These are the exact same numbers, just written differently. So now that it's a fraction, we want to get that in lowest terms. Okay? So I look at it, not much divides into it, but 2 definitely will divide into the top and the bottom. Even. Okay? So, if I was to divide both top and bottom by 2, remember, whatever you do to the bottom or top, you got to do to the bottom or top, right? So, always keep it the same. Dividing by 2, top and bottom, it's going to give us 163 over 500. Can't reduce that anymore. That's as much as it can reduce. So I'm going to circle that because that's one of my answers, right? Because we're looking for the fraction and the decimal. Well, we've got the fraction there. That's one of our answers. Now let's convert that into our decimal place. So all you're going to do is take your calculator. Anytime you want to convert a fraction into a decimal, okay, you're just going to divide the numerator, which is the top number, by the denominator. So watch this. I put in 163 because that's my numerator, and I'm going to divide it by my denominator, which is 500. It's easy. Okay? 163 divided by 500. And I'm going to get my other answer, which is my decimal place that I wanted, and I get 0.326. I'm going to circle that because that's my other answer. Okay? Nice and clean. I've circled my answers. I've done what I was supposed to do. I've got my fraction in lowest terms. Got my decimal place. And that's it for lesson 5.1.